got you in my sight. I keep all the words you said to me. I get you on your knees.
Hi guys, and welcome back. Last time we covered the big VRChat security update that divided its community. We'll be going over a brief update on the update today by covering what's happened with the community, the changes we'll see within the modding community and VRChat users, the future of Nsfw content, and the changes VRChat themselves plan and are currently making to the game. To start things off, VRChat put their foot down. They stated in their blog post, "We are reprioritizing, reorganizing, and changing our internal development roadmap to focus on the feedback you've given us." Let's follow that up with the hard part. We're going to be releasing this update, and we do not have plans or intent to revert or roll it back. For anyone who isn't aware of what's going on in VRChat and what this new security update involves, I highly suggest you take a look at my previous video that briefly goes over the main points of why this update is harmful to the community content built game. To summarize though, VRChat has brought easy anti-cheat into the picture and taken away the ability to modify the game without taking the proper steps to make its game easily accessible to those with disabilities who rely on mods to play, or for those to get a decent performance out of the game to even make it playable, as well as a large handful of quality of life modifications the community has been asking for. Now, if you don't even know about the modding side of VRChat, like the Reddit user Mr. Muse, but still understand that VRChat isn't handling this well, this may not be a huge worry for you, but hopefully you'll still enjoy the video nonetheless. Thankfully, the outcry and numerous pleas for change have been acknowledged. VRChat stated in their July 25th blog post, "We hear and see you saying that many of the modified client features that are being lost due to this are extremely important to you, or in some cases allow you to use VRChat at all." But then they proceeded to push out the security update the very next day, which kind of ruined their acknowledgement at all. At the time of this update, the VRChat team had admitted to seeing our outrage, and that in itself is a small victory for us all. Unfortunately, all we had was vague mentions of bringing in changes for accessibility and possibly other issues eventually. Since then, we've had a new blog post on July 28th talking about the implementation of many new features, such as horizon adjust, custom mic sensitivity, movable menus, visual adjustments, calibration mirror, more favorites, haptics, particle limiters, which apparently have already technically been there, just hard to access, local voice fall-off, and others. Currently at this time, VRChat has released a live beta that includes many of these features, and others I'll go ahead and list right here. Personally, I'm surprised at the quick response to the community's need and want for these changes. VRChat has always been notoriously slow at giving its community much wanted features. Honestly, they deserve a little bit of a pat on the back for this one. Some features I will personally be looking forward to seeing in action is the avatar distance hider to save my frames, and the better portal placement, as I hate when my friends block me from dropping a portal, intentional or not. While my priorities might be in the wrong place, seeing as I'm one of the lucky few who aren't too affected by this update, I'm really excited to see a copy and paste button, and I think other people might be too. Side note, all those content creators that relied heavily on mods such as the camera res changer and camera animations, there are simple solutions. By changing a few lines of code in the config JSON file with the code displayed right here, you can have 4K photos. You can thank Loaf for this, who posted in the VRChat Society Discord in their super helpful section called Loaf's Photography Guide. For those of you missing all those fancy camera animations, there is still hope. If you're able to use Unity and have around $10 to spend, you can pick up VRC Lens, which is a Unity avatar attachment that gives you a camera expansion, essentially allowing you to use a drone, change your exposure, adjust your depth of field, and much more. I've personally tried it, and while there is a bit of a learning curve with all the features they offer, it's an essential tool in your photography arsenal if you're passionate about it. I'll leave a link below in the description for anyone who's interested in trying it out. Now, while many changes are currently being implemented or fast-tracked into being ready for future updates, this hasn't quelled the community's outrage. While these are great steps the VRChat team is making, it's a little too late for many users and creators to forgive. The criticism is strong, and I can't blame a single person. While sifting through articles and videos of VRChat's new security update and its aftermath, I came across a Reddit post titled, "What I Think the Aftermath of All This Will Become." Now, this was in the VRChat subreddit, and it was removed by a moderator, which I find kind of funny with everything going on. I do wonder what originally this post was. However, the comments still remain there, and the user Tritty wrote, "Here's what's going to happen. Number 1, the concurrent player base will drop between 1 and 5%. So that's a loss of about 1,500 on Steam and about 4,000 overall. Number 2, the community will get an olive branch in the form of a much requested update from the dev team, and regular discussion topics will return about 1.5 weeks to the start of everything. The sporadic discussion about how bad everything is will continue for another 2 to 3 weeks. Number 3, at this point, 95% of the people from Step 1 have returned. A small number will stay on other platforms longer." I think this user hit it spot on. This is just like most other negative updates that VRChat has pushed out. Sure, it's probably one of the worst ones to date with a more dire consequence for many users, but Tritty had a solid point. This won't stop users and most will return regardless. And I see that happening as long as VRChat keeps pushing out these quality of life updates and of course doesn't mess things up along the way. Another user in this thread pointed out that VRChat's user base hasn't taken that hard of a hit. And honestly, with how many people I know personally addicted to mirror sitting and crave that social interaction this game brings, I can see that being true. Now the response. Oh boy, has it been kind of all over the place. As I mentioned in my last video, some users have responded with everyone's favorite response: violence. Thankfully, over the last few days, it seems those type of people have calmed down and run off to hide, while outrage on other social media platforms seem to have mostly vanished from people's stories and posts. The places you could still find this hot topic in discussion is where VRChat hit its community the hardest. While players seem to be jumping ship and trying out other games, the modding community seems to be having a similar response. Some groups have taken the time to state that they will no longer be attempting to evade the numerous attempts VRChat has taken to remove them, saying the security update really is the nail in the coffin for them. Some groups, thankfully, have taken this as an opportunity to reach out to other social VR platforms and work with them. A perfect example of this is the mod loader called Melon Loader, who put out an announcement in their Discord server about officially being supported by Chillout VR, meaning all those mods you love could become accessible in Chillout VR if the game doesn't already have similar functions. While there is a bright side of finding new games to work on, there's sadly still trouble among VRChat and some of the groups. An announcement made in the VRChat modding group's Discord stating that a cease and desist has been sent to the VRChat private server project. It's sad to see VRChat go to such lengths to shut down user-created content when so much of their game is that very thing. Another very scary change that may be coming to VRChat is on how they allow Nsfw content. While I don't have much details on this, VRChat users had noticed one of the loading screens stating Nsfw avatars, behavior, or content streamed or shared from private worlds can lead to bans. Now, Nsfw content has never been allowed in public worlds. The way the screen has been worded can be very worrying though. How far will VRChat moderate this? Can a user be banned for sharing Nsfw content to other platforms now? It's a loose description from VRChat, and if they were to start phasing out all Nsfw content right after the security update, it could have more devastating consequences for its user base. When asked about the loading screen in the VRChat server, it was met with an unnerving answer. Not allowed, never allowed, can't be any clearer than this. Not exactly something any creator would like to hear, especially when the official VRChat SDK offers options to mark your avatars as Nsfw sexual when uploading them. While VRChat has always had an issue with sexual content, this isn't something they should be suddenly making a drastic change to, and I hope that isn't their plan. I do, however, think that their age range needs to be changed. Their rating is currently for 13+. There needs to be an option to keep children safer. Now, I'm not here to talk about the pedophile and grooming side of VRChat, but there is very little restriction to keeping minors from seeing and being involved in actions they shouldn't be. A perfect example of this is Worlds. There's nothing stopping from minors hopping into a world filled with sex toys or a strip club when the only safety feature is 13+ for the game. We know that's not going to stop them regardless, but come on. As mentioned before though, the community does seem to be finding alternatives. While I personally don't see VRChat becoming an underdog in the social VR platforms available, despite the large amount of disrespect it's given its users and creators, I do think this update has created an amazing opportunity for other social VR games to flourish, and I may not be jumping ship or VRChat completely, but I'll definitely be checking out others such as Chill Out VR, Neos, and Helios soon, so I can see what they offer. Maybe we'll get lucky and VRChat will take this as a real challenge to make the appropriate changes. In the meantime, there's still ways we can help in trying to make a change. Sure, they have already rolled out the update, but you can leave your thoughts on the canny, cancel your VRChat Plus, check out the petition below, or leave a review that actually says what you want changed. A simple thumbs up or down isn't enough. They need feedback to change. Remember, you can find all the links below to articles and posts referenced, as well as find other useful links in the description. Let's do our best to change a bad situation into something great again.